And he said it really well too. He said, training and education has got to be institutionalized. It's not something that you go to a workshop to do. It's something you go to a boot camp to do. But how many people in this room realize that when you went to school, by the way, how many went to school at least for a little while? That's encouraging. But how many people realize that in school you were not taught how to be an entrepreneur? How many got that? As a matter of fact, if you showed entrepreneurial spirit in school, you would get accused of things like what? Cheating. I mean, I tried to run a test. I mean, no. But in business, you got to cooperate. They call that cheating. And so my experience is you were actually trained to be an employee, to be good, do as you're told, all those kinds of things. And when the opportunity, when I saw WFG about 18 months ago, sat down with Monty and with Jason, with Ted and Ed, all of a sudden I saw an opportunity where truly, as Ed said, this is probably the finest business school for entrepreneurs that you can find anywhere on the planet. Where else to be coached by the best business leaders that have already made the money, that don't even need to be doing it, number one. Number two, where could you actually get paid to learn? You see, you could probably spend tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in a business university, business school, all that kind of stuff. But what Ed was talking to you about here, and over my last year of experience here with WFG and what I've seen, I've probably had 20 or 30 of you come up to me and say, you know, that boot camp I went to, it changed my life. I went out and I recruited 30 people in the next month. I went out and I realized I've been sitting on this business for 6 years, and now I finally went out and did something. My experiences in school, they don't teach you how to sell. If you're good in sales, then you're considered disruptive in class. Right? And the number one sale is selling who? What's the toughest sell of all? Self. Yeah, how many people in this room ever argued with yourself over a good idea? I really need to go to the gym today. No, I'm too tired. Come on, you slug, get out of bed. No, I went 3 weeks ago, isn't that good? How many have ever had this argument? Yes? So at the boot camp, real quickly, the boot camp is 2 parts. How many parts is it?
2.
How many parts is it? 2. 2 parts. In the boot camp, 2 parts, 1 on sales. Because sales equals income. And you have 2 incredibly powerful and effective systems. A system builder, a business format system. If you use them, you will be sucked immediately into a position of making money. The issue is, and the purpose of that boot camp is to give you the confidence, the basic communication skills, the impetus, and the little voice management tools to be able to jump into it and use it. How many people would like that if in fact that you could get every recruit that you brought in, you knew that they would immediately jump into the system? How many would like that? Let me hear you if you'd like that. So that's part 1. Day and a half, we're going to be spending that time. As a matter of fact, what we do is we're including about $400 worth of training tools that I've developed on objection handling, elevator pitching, little voice management. We give it to you free. As a matter of fact, if you sign up here, Ed said if you sign up here, downstairs you can actually walk away with your product before you leave. So you have a head start on that. Day 2. Which day? 2. 2 is about teaching. It's for MDs and above. It's for the leadership of this organization. Because the worst thing that would happen is everybody gets fired up, gets these great objection handling skills, all of that stuff, walk away with all the scripts we're going to give you as to what to say and how to say it, and then nothing happens at home. So we're going to take the MDs. I'm going to do my best. I have spent 25 years learning accelerated learning, personal development, and a day and a half I'm going to do my best to teach every single one of you that show up for this thing how to present in front of 5 or 50,000 and get them to learn immediately. How many would like to learn how to do that? Because sales is number 1, building a team is number 2, but number 3, the most important skill in this business, you have the opportunity to learn how to be a great teacher. If you can teach, then you can duplicate. If you can't teach, it's all up to you. You'll never move out of the S quadrant. You'll always be self-employed, doing it on your own. How many would like to build a gigantic business? Some of the leaders in this room, how many of you would like to be a better teacher so you wouldn't be so frustrated wanting to strangle people when they just don't get it? Which I know never happens. Right? accelerated, learning techniques, how to use the right and left side of the brain, all of this stuff in coaching that's never taught in school, and because you guys are incredibly bright. Is that true? You're incredibly bright? Are you guys incredibly bright? Because you're incredibly bright, we can do this in a fraction of the time, and Ed will talk to you more about the follow-up systems, but I gotta tell you, the last year in working with you, you're right, I bought in. I bought into this organization because there's one thing that I know. The 54% of the GDP of our economy has always been small businesses. It's been people like you. The people that make the difference out there are the people sitting in the seat that you're sitting in. Never make any mistake that everything you do, the way you talk, the way you express, the way you approach, engage, makes a difference in somebody's life, just the way you communicate to them. How many people would like to do it better? So, remind you sign up today. We're going to November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in Anaheim. We're launching this thing. Get your product ahead of time downstairs. I look forward to working with each and every one of you so we can all tell success stories together. Thank you.
Also, Monty Holmes made a suggestion, and I'm trying to reflection right in his face so you can see it. But Monty Holmes asked us to add this special program to the WFG Academy, and this is now when you reach different levels within WFG: MD, SMD, EMD, CEO, Field Vice Chairman, and SVC. You get a certain level of certificate from the Academy. Now, you only get this when you reach that level and after you've attended one of our events, one of our WFG Academy events. Then you'll get this frame. Now, we actually brought one of these framed for each SVC that's here today. So, on this table over here, after the event, come up here for an SVC and get your own framed PhD of WFG Marketing. We're happy to present you that on behalf of the Academy. Anything last thing you want to say? No? Everybody, thanks. We'll see you at the next WFG Academy.